Why do you serve the Lord? Why do you believe the Lord? Do you do it out of convenience? You might find these questions strange, but they are too important for us to ignore. We have to define the reason why we follow Jesus, why we obey him, why we honor him. Let's do a bit of history. Baruch was Jeremiah's secretary. He was in charge of writing the prophecies that came to Jeremiah from God. Baruch was the one who was in charge of reading the prophecies to the people that Jeremiah had received, and then he read them to the princes of Judah. After this, he, along with Jeremiah, was persecuted by the king. Perhaps all of this led Baruch to complain that instead of receiving recognition, he received persecution. He may have thought that by being a helper of God's prophet, he would receive rewards, but also he was a servant of the Lord of hosts. That must count for something. Surely it had to bring him some benefit, but it wasn't like that. Stay tuned today as we look at Baruch's example and talk about removing pride from our hearts. Let's first read Jeremiah 45. This is the message which Jeremiah the prophet spoke to Baruch the son of Neriah, when he had written these words in a book at Jeremiah's dictation, in the 4th year of Jehoiakim the son of Josiah, king of Judah, saying, This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says to you, Baruch. You said, Oh, woe to me, for the Lord has added grief to my pain. I am weary with my groaning and have found no rest. This is what you are to say to him. This is what the Lord says. Behold, what I have built I am going to tear down, and what I have planted I am going to uproot. That is, all the people of the land. But as for you, are you seeking great things for yourself? Do not seek them, for behold, I am going to bring disaster on all flesh, declares the Lord. But I will give your life to you as plunder in all the places where you may go. The first point today is, why complain about your service? Baruch, like Adam at the beginning, blamed God for what was happening. In his pride and arrogance, he claimed to God that he was receiving sadness over his pain. He complained of being tired of so much moaning, of not finding rest. Baruch regretted all that he had suffered because of his service to God, especially because of his hard work that people had not appreciated and because no one had thanked him. Really, his complaint was, God, you have not given me a reward for my service. What's wrong with you? Baruch planned on finding appreciation and personal gain by serving the Lord. That leads us to point 2. Why look for rewards here on this earth? The divine warning to Baruch shows the danger of having this attitude. He must have recognized the importance of his mission. Nevertheless, he saw his situation from the world's point of view. He concentrated on the riches and popularity that he may have lost. But the Lord warned him of the danger of seeking greatness for himself. His example shows us the risk of looking at what the world sees as being successful. And so that leads us to point 3. Why not be thankful to God? How did Baruch intend to escape the trial and make a profit? How could he be more interested in the fleeting things in the face of the chaos that threatened him? Instead of wanting the material and complaining, Baruch should worship and thank God for his mercy, because only by divine grace was he, Baruch, alive. The people would be destroyed, but God would still preserve his servants. Instead of complaining about the lack of material things, we should thank God for his mercy. And that leads us to our conclusion. Baruch's problem also occurs in the church today. Many have an interest in following God, but thinking about the personal cost involved, they refuse to sacrifice because they do not see the situation from God's perspective. Being a pastor or some other full-time job in ministry are not the only ways to serve God. He has empowered his people in many ways. Each must actively participate in the work in some way. And so, what way are you serving God with the talents that he's given you for his kingdom? I pray this reflection finds you well. God bless, and see you soon.